had a little bit of difficulty with the recording software. So the first 10 minutes of the class were not recorded, but this is just to make up for it. So this class, we will look at the Cuddly, Dudley, Fuddly, Wuddly riddle. And the only word that is actually English here, real English, is this word cuddly. And this means something that is cute, something that you want to hold on to, maybe something that is furry or something like a pet or a small animal. So cats are cuddly, dogs are cuddly. In this riddle, we will want to get a Cuddly Wuddly. And this riddle that I worked through with the students, we worked out a way to get one of these cuddlies. Okay. So the riddle comes from the series TED Ed, and they have many videos on YouTube, and they're a lot of fun to go through. So we want to get a special pet for our birthday. The best pet we can get is a cuddly, but it isn't so easy to get one. We have to use a special machine called an incubator to get it. And if we make a mistake, we might get a terrifying Dudley or even a hideous Fuddly instead. The machine seems very complicated, but in this exercise, we will learn how the machine works and come up with a way to get the cuddly that we want. The first part of this exercise, we do a little bit of vocabulary, build our vocabulary. So I went over all of these words just with the students, and did a little bit of acting and a lot of explanation as to what each of these words are. First, we have creature, which is anything living. Could be a person, could be an animal. We have terrifying, which is very scary. Hideous, which is very ugly. Peculiar, which means very strange. An incubator. An incubator is a special machine for eggs. You put eggs in there and it keeps them warm and basically keeps them warm and safe until they are ready to hatch. So you have incubators usually for chickens, sometimes for other special animals, but if you go to a regular farm, they will have incubators for chicken eggs. Fusion is a special type of bonding. So when things come together and fuse, they will never come apart, right? So they even melt a little bit and they're fused. In this riddle, we will have many eggs, and 2 eggs will come together at a time and fuse together into a single egg of a different color. Plentiful means a lot of, many of. Random means by choice. So if I think of a random number between 1 and 10, it can be any one of those numbers between 1 and 10. To hatch, this is what happens when an animal comes out of an egg, they are said to hatch. Okay? And then bond, in this case, bond is to create a relationship with. So bonding with people, for example, I bond with my classmates. Then we went through all of these and filled out all of this together. So frightening and very scary is obviously terrifying, so on and so forth. So we got to the end. Then I realized that I wasn't recording, so we got to this part where we listened to the first half of the video. And this is where the class picks up in this video. Okay. Now I'm recording. Okay, so the first half of the video. You ready?
For your son's 6th birthday, you've promised to get him the cutest creature in creation, the Cuddly. It's hard to believe that it's a cousin of the terrifying Dudley or the hideous Fuddly. They're all members of the Wuddly species, and the process of adopting them is deeply peculiar. It takes 100 eggs to make a single animal in genus Wuddly. When 100 eggs are placed together in an incubator, they undergo egg fusion and combine in the following way. Blue and purple combine to make red eggs. Red and blue combine to make purple eggs. and red and purple combine to make blue eggs. The most plentiful eggs pair up first, and if two piles are even, an egg comes from one of them at random. They keep combining until there's just one left. If the final egg is blue, a cuddly hatches out of it. Purple eggs give you Dudleys, and red eggs give you Fuddlies. The incubator currently has 99 eggs in it. 23 are blue, 33 are purple, and 43 are red. You can begin the process of egg fusion by adding an egg of any color to the room. When all the eggs have combined into a single egg, the creature that hatches will bond with you on sight, which is why getting a cuddly is so important. After all, you made a promise to your son. Which color egg should you add to the incubator to get a cuddly?
Okay, so here are the rules. Of course, the rules look very complicated, right? This looks crazy. How can we figure out what color egg to use? This is crazy, right? So don't worry, I have everything all planned out, and I'm going to help you figure out which egg we should get. Okay, so this is the Cuddly, Dudley, Fuddly, Wuddly riddle. Okay, we want a cuddly, and a cuddly hatches out of a blue egg, right? And their friends Dudleys hatches out of the purple egg, and the Fuddlies hatch out of the red eggs. Okay, so we want, after all of these eggs combine, we want the last egg to be what color? We want, what color egg should the very last egg be? We want a blue egg, right? Because we want a cuddly.
Yes.
Would you mind if you had a Dudley? Would it be okay? He's kind of cute, right?
No.
No? Okay. How about a red one? Oh, he's very cute, right? Love it. Okay. So we have this machine, this incubator that takes two eggs and smashes them together to make one egg, okay? But it only takes two eggs at a time, okay? And when it takes a blue egg and a purple egg, we get a red egg. When it takes a purple egg and a red egg, we get a blue egg, okay? And when it gets a red egg and a blue egg together, we get a purple egg. So we want our last egg to be blue. What should the two last eggs to be combined, what color should they be? The two last eggs in the machine, when they combine, what color should they be? Any guesses?
Purple and red.
Yeah, very good. So we want the last two eggs to be purple and red. And when they combine, ta-da, we get a blue egg. So we have 100 eggs in total, okay? And here's the incubation machine. And we have 43 red eggs, 33 purple eggs, and 23 blue eggs, okay? And the man gives us a choice. You can have a red egg, a blue egg, or a purple egg, put it in the machine. Without thinking about it too much, what color egg do you think we should put in? Just a guess.
Maybe blue.
Maybe blue, that's a good guess. Does anybody have a different guess? Maybe red. Are you guys doing the math in your head right now? Okay. Could be very complicated, right? Okay, so let's go back to this sheet, okay? And we can now answer these questions, right? So what color egg does a cuddly hatch out of?
Blue.
Blue, easy peasy. All right, good. What color egg do we get if a red and blue egg fuse together in the incubator?
Purple.
Purple. Good, good. And how many eggs must be fused together to make a cuddly?
Purple and red, too.
Purple and red should be the last two. That's good. So that's correct. But we need to fuse 100 eggs together, right, before all of this happens. So this should be 100. And this is why in the machine, you saw in the machine you have 23 blue eggs, 33 purple eggs, and 43 red eggs. If you
99.
yeah, if you add all of this up, exactly, it's 99, and you add the last egg, and that will be 100 eggs, right? Good. So how many eggs do we start with? Do you guys remember? How many?
43.
43 red eggs. How many purple eggs?
33.
33. And how many blue eggs?
23.
20. Good. Okay. And as you said before, Irina, what color should the last two eggs in the incubator machine be if we want to get a cuddly? You said it's
Purple and red.
yeah, purple and red. Okay, so we are going to start very simple, okay? This sounds extremely complicated. It sounds extremely crazy, right? Combining all of these eggs together. But if we start simple and get more complex as we go, then we'll be able to solve it very quickly, right? Okay. So we will start with one egg of each color. The machine will start with one red egg, one purple egg, and one blue egg. And we will add an egg of each color and see what happens at the end, okay? Now you remember when there are two eggs of the same number, then one of them comes out at random. So we will have a situation in the incubator where we will have the same number of two different color eggs. Okay, so we will have two different situations. We will look at both situations and we will see that in the end, it's exactly the same, okay? So let's look at this side first. We have two red eggs, one purple egg, and one blue egg. What eggs will come in the machine and fuse together on the first step? Go ahead.
Maybe red.
Okay, so a red one has to come out, right? Because there are two red ones. But it's random whether a purple one comes out to fuse with it or a blue one comes out to fuse with it, okay? So on this side, we will see what happens when the purple egg comes out first. And on this side, we will see what happens when the blue egg comes out first, okay? So on this side, a red egg and a purple egg fuse together. And what happens?
Blue.
It's blue egg.
Yeah, we'll get a blue egg, right? So they come together, they fuse. Now we have a blue egg. So we have a red and a blue egg. Now what happens in the machine?
Red smashed and blue.
Yes.
And that's a purple.
Okay, so a red egg and a blue egg will fuse together and we will get a purple egg. Ta-da! And then what will happen?
Blue and purple is red.
Okay, so blue and purple will fuse together and
Red.
we'll get a red egg, which ends up being what animal? Do you remember? The ugly Wuddly. Okay, so this is what happens when we add a red egg, okay? But if you remember, the red egg could have fused with the blue egg first. So let's go through it and see what happens. So we have a red, a purple, and a blue, okay? So first the red and blue fuse together, we get a purple egg. Okay, good. Red and purple fuse together, we get a blue. Blue and purple fuse together, we get a red, and we get an ugly Wuddly. So you see, when we have a random choice, it doesn't matter. In the end, everything ends up the same exact way. Okay. So this is when we add a red egg in, right? We can go to this sheet here. So here we have a red, a blue, and a purple. The red and the purple combine together. And what do we get?
Purple.
Blue.
A blue, right? We get a blue egg here, okay? Then the red and the blue fuse together and we get
Purple.
purple. Good. But we're still left with this blue egg, right? So this blue egg just comes down. And then purple and blue come together, fuse together.
Red.
Yeah, it gives us a red egg. And so we get a fuddly.
Cuddly.
Yeah, fuddly. Okay, good. So that was the first time we tried. Let's go through and see what happens if we add a purple egg. Okay, so we start with a red, a purple, and a blue egg, and we add a purple egg. What do you think will happen?
Mm,
What color egg do you think we will have at the end?
Purple.
Purple, probably. Okay. So we put a red egg in, we get a red egg out, right? We put a purple egg in, we get a purple egg out. Okay. So let's see. In the first step, we will, of course, it's random. So we will fuse with the red egg first. So the purple and red fuse together. We get a blue, and now we have two blue and a purple. So the purple and blue will come together, and we get a
Red.
red. Good. And then the red and blue fuse together, and we get a purple egg.
Purple.
And what hatches out of the purple egg?
Dudley.
Yeah, the Dudley, the little ratty Dudley. Right, good. Okay, so now instead of fusing with the red egg first, we will fuse with the blue egg first. Okay, so here we go. We get a red egg, then we get a blue egg, and then we get a purple egg. So you see, even if there's a random choice, it doesn't matter. We get the same thing every time. The Dudley. Okay. Good. And then, as we guessed, what will happen when we put a blue egg in? You guys excited? No one's excited? Okay. So on this side, we will combine the red egg first. So purple fuses with blue. We get red, and red and purple fuse together. We get blue.
Cuddly.
Yeah, we get our cuddly. Good. And we don't have to fuse with the red egg first. We can fuse with the purple egg first instead. Okay. So then we get our red egg, red and blue fuse together. We get purple. And red and purple fuse together, and we get blue. And we get our cuddly. Okay. All right. So let's fill out this crazy chart here. So in the first step, the red and the blue egg fuse together, and we got a purple egg. Okay. What should I put here?
Red.
Purple.
Yeah, either red or purple, right? So I'll put purple on this side, and I'll put red on this side.
Red.
Ooh, but it's the wrong color. I should do this. Okay. All right, and then what do I get in the last one?
Blue.
Blue.
Blue, right, good. And what animal do I end up with?
Cuddly.
Cuddly.
Right. Exactly what we wanted, right? Now, so if we look at the original problem, there are many, many eggs. So is it as simple as just adding a blue egg? Let's look at one more example, and maybe it will be that easy, but it probably won't be that easy, right? Okay. So here's our lady. She has to pick an egg, and she thinks, is it really that simple? So let's look at a situation where we have two purple eggs, one blue egg, and one red egg, okay? And she will add a blue egg into the machine, okay? What is the first step? What always has to happen? First step. What two color eggs will have to combine?
Purple and blue.
Yeah, purple and blue, because there are 2 blue eggs and 2 purple eggs, and they are the most plentiful, okay? And what will we get out of it? A red egg, right?
Yeah.
So we go back to our handy dandy sheet. So in the very beginning, we have 2 purple eggs, 2 blue eggs, and 1 red egg, okay? Then after the first step, 1 blue egg fuses with 1 purple egg, and we get 2 red eggs, 1 blue egg, and 1 purple egg. Okay. Now, this step is random, right? We have 1 blue egg and 1 purple egg. So on this side, we will combine the blue egg first. And on this side, we will combine the purple egg first. But what do you think will happen? Probably the same thing, right? On both sides? Yeah, probably the same thing. So a blue egg and a red egg will come together, and what will we be left with?
Purple.
So that will make another purple egg, and we have 2 purple eggs and 1 red egg. Okay, so 1 red egg, 0 blue eggs, and 2 purple eggs. What happens in step 3?
Blue may be red and purple.
Yeah, so a red and purple egg will fuse together, and we will get a blue egg. So here we go, ta-da. So we go back to our nice sheet. So we will have 0 red eggs, 1 blue egg, and 1 purple egg. And then what will happen?
One red.
So the purple egg and the blue egg will fuse together, and we will get
We get
red egg. And what animal comes out of the red? Yeah, we get a fuddly. Oh, we don't want a fuddly, we want a cuddly, right? So here we go. The last step, we get 1 egg here, 0 eggs here, 0 eggs here, and we end up with a red egg. We put red here, okay? And we get a fuddly. Okay, so it's not just easy as just adding a blue egg, right? So we have to think a little bit more about this. And just to show you, the same thing happens if we add the purple egg to the red egg first, okay? So red and purple make blue, blue and red makes purple, purple and blue makes red, and we get a fuddly. Okay. So for this riddle, we need to know this fancy word called parity. Okay? Parity is just a fancy math word. Okay. Do you guys know the difference between even numbers and odd numbers? So these are all even numbers over here, and these are all odd numbers. What do you see that's the same between all of them? Or can you give me an example of an odd number or an example of an even number? Here we have 2.
Maybe even number.
Yeah, Arena, you were saying even numbers?
Yes.
Can you give me an example? What would be another?
10. 6, 10.
6, 10, good.
12.
So yeah, 6, 10, 12. Okay, good. So we can write those in here. 6, 10, 12. Uliana, what's another even number? Jane, do you know?
20.
20. Good, perfect. Okay, Jane, do you know any?
Maybe 200.
200. All right, good. Lisa, do you know any even numbers?
14.
14. Okay, good. Kirill, do you know any even numbers?
1056.
Okay, 1056. Like that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that one's rather large, okay? So all of these numbers, what do they have in common? They can be split right in half, right? So half of 2 is 1, half of 18 is 9, half of 10 is 5. So they are evenly divisible by 2. Even numbers can be divided by 2. So the answer for this one is A, okay? So what does it mean for numbers to be odd? That's the opposite. It cannot be divided by 2, right? So odd numbers cannot be divided by 2. So what are some other odd numbers that I can write in here?
Maybe 23.
Okay, good. 23. Lisa?
29.
Sorry, Arina?
29.
29. Very good.
5.
5? Did you say 5?
Yes.
Okay, good. Liliana?
54.
54? 54 is even, so we can't put 54. But we can put 53, right? 54.
Or 55.
Okay, 45, good. 45 is good. Let's see, who else is here? Nastia, can you give me an odd number?
13.
13, good. And Karel?
33.
33, not 1,943, 789, 4621. So as long as that last number is not 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, then we have an odd number, okay? What else does it mean to be odd? If I say someone is odd, it also means strange, right? So you can have odd numbers and you can have odd people, okay? So here we go. Even numbers over here, they are what we call divisible by 2. You can divide them, you can split them by 2. Odd numbers cannot be split that way. Okay. So let's look at all of the examples that we started with. We did the easy example. You remember the very first example. And what was the parity of each egg? The red egg, we had an odd number of red eggs, an odd number of purple eggs, and an odd number of blue eggs. And then we added an egg, and in this example, in the very first example, we added a red egg. And so this is even, oops, sorry, this is even, this is odd, this is odd. And so this one has different parity than the others. And the result, we got ourselves a fuddly, right? Same thing here. So in the next example, we put a purple egg in there. This isn't right. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, this is right. This is right. Okay. So in the more complicated example, the fourth time we did this together, we started with 1 red egg, 2 purple eggs, and 1 blue egg. Okay. And so we had an odd number of red eggs, an odd number of blue eggs, and an even number of purple eggs. And then we added a blue egg in. When we added a blue egg in, we made an even number of blue eggs, an even number of purple eggs, and an odd number of red eggs. And the result was the red egg. So it's the one that it has a different parity than the other 2. Here we have odd, odd, even, we get a red egg. Here we have even, even, odd. We get a red egg, okay? And in the riddle, we have 99 eggs. So let's go back to our nice sheet. In the first run, we had 2 even eggs. We had an even number of eggs. We had an odd number of eggs and an odd number of eggs. And we got a red egg, okay? What about the second time we did this? We did this here. We had, were the number of red eggs even or odd?
Odd.
Odd, good. So how about the blue eggs? If we look up here, we started with 2 blue eggs. So is it
Even.
Even.
good? And purple?
Odd.
Odd. And the result?
Blue.
Blue, good. Good. And the third run here, this one here, okay. What did we start with? An even number or an odd number of red eggs?
Even.
That was after
Odd.
odd, yeah. We only have 1 here, so we start with an odd number. And here we have even.
And even.
And even. And the final result was red. Right? Got ourselves a Dudley. Okay, so 100 eggs. What happens when we have 100 eggs? Oh, this seems so complicated, right? We have 43 red eggs, 33 purple eggs, and 23 blue eggs. So we need to change one of them. They're all odd. Okay? So we should change the one that we want in the end, right? So as you guessed in the very beginning, if we add a blue egg, we will change this to even. This will be odd and this will be odd. And our result will be a cuddly. Isn't that great? So we need to start with an odd number here, an odd number here, and an even number here. Oh, sorry. No, we want a blue egg. Stop. We want a blue egg. And the final result will be
Blue.
blue. Good. Okay. So we will finish the video. So even though it looks very complicated, right? You have so many eggs in here. The riddle actually isn't all that difficult because we just have to use our brains in a special way. Okay. So let's listen in and see if we are correct.
It's easy to get mixed up with all the Cuddlies, Dudleys, and Fuddlies coming from different colored eggs. If we ignore how many total eggs of each color there are and just look at the process of egg fusion, we might notice something that will make this problem simpler. When 2 eggs fuse, the number of eggs of each of those colors decreases by 1, and the number of the third color increases by 1. That means they all change parity, or evenness and oddness, at the same time. Right now, all 3 piles are odd, but you get to add an egg to one color, which means that it'll be even and the other 2 will be odd. Whichever color you choose will always be the opposite parity of the other 2 piles, odd when they're even and even when they're odd, since every egg fusion flips each pile's parity simultaneously. We want to end with 1 blue, 0 purple, and 0 red eggs, or odd, even, even. That means we want the blue egg pile to be the opposite parity of the other 2 piles at the start as well. So you add a blue egg into the room, and 99 egg fusions later, only a single blue egg remains. The Cuddly that hatches is sure to make your 6-year-old as happy as can be. Just be sure to follow the shopkeeper's warning and never feed it after midnight. You've managed to procure a Cuddly, but can you use...
Good. So easy peasy, right?
Yes.
No problem. Okay, so if it's so easy then, what would happen if I had started with a different number of eggs? So I will just write the numbers here. And you could write them just on a separate piece of paper if you want. So instead of 100 eggs, what if we started with 46 eggs? And of those eggs, 22 of them were red. And let's see, 23 of them were blue. And that would mean one of them has to be purple. Well, this one I can't do. Can I? Maybe I can. I would have to do 23. No, let's say I start, sorry, with 47 eggs. And I do this. What color egg should I put in the machine?
Maybe
It has 1 purple egg, 23 blue eggs, and 23 red eggs. What color egg should I put in the machine for this case?
purple.
Purple. But then I will change this to an even number. And then this will be odd and this will be odd. And as you saw in the machine changes the evenness and oddness, and I will get a purple egg in the end. So I don't want a purple egg. A purple egg will give me a Dudley.
Blue.
Yeah, I would add a blue egg, okay? Because that would make it 24, and 24 is even. So I have an odd number, and an even number, okay? Let's say I had 22 eggs here and 23 eggs here and 2 eggs here. So total would be 47 again. What color egg should I put in it this time?
Red
Well, if I put a red egg in,
or
then this one is 24 and that's even. This one is 22 and that's even. And this one is 2 and that's even. So that would mean that they're all even and the machine would probably explode, okay? So I don't want to do that. What color egg should I put in this case? Anybody else have a guess? It's not red. Should we try blue?
purple.
Purple, good. So if I add a purple egg here, then I have 3 eggs here, and that's odd. I have 3 eggs here, and that's odd, or 23 eggs here, and that's odd. And I have 22 eggs here, and that's even. So it will switch those 2 odd ones to even, and it'll switch the even to odd, and it'll flip, 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 all the way down until I get a blue egg, right? So in this case, I would add a purple egg to get a blue egg. I wanted to try to make a nice simulation to try and show this, but it's difficult to find something that shuffles so many eggs around. Good, okay, so that's the riddle. You can do it with any number you want, and you'll see that if you write it all out by hand, you'll see that in the end it works every time. Okay. So even when I was doing it here, when I was doing it with these simulations, so I wanted to do a simulation like this, but with 99 eggs, and it was too much because I have to draw the fusion every time. So okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions about this?
No.
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 Was it pretty easy, or did you think it was difficult?
Easy.
Easy.
Easy?
First, it's difficult, then easy.
Okay. Yeah, it was difficult at first, right? It sounded really complicated, sounded very difficult. But if you have someone to help you, then we can make it easy together. Okay? Do you guys like riddles like this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good, because this, if you want, I can show you the. It's on YouTube, and it's this thing called. Oh, dang it. It's this thing called TED Ed, and TED Ed has many, many, many different riddles. Okay, so this one, it's on YouTube. I can send you the link if you want. But if you look, there are so many different riddles, right? So let's look at another one just very quickly, right? So here's the unstoppable blob.
A shooting star crashes on Earth, and a huge blob emerges. It creeps and leaps. It glides and slides. It's also unstoppable. Weapons, fire, extreme temperatures, no matter what you throw at it, it just regrows and continues its rampage. Its expansion is breathtaking. It doubles in size every hour, but there is one opportunity. After each hour, it goes to sleep, forming itself into a flat triangle and resting for a few minutes before it begins eating and growing again. Your only chance to save the planet involves a satellite-mounted nanofission ray that can cut through the blob. When the blob is active, it heals itself within seconds. However, when you break the sleeping blob into two triangles, you make a critical discovery. The acute triangle portion, with all angles less than 90 degrees, is inert. It never wakes up. The obtuse triangle, which has an angle greater than 90 degrees, wakes up as usual and keeps growing. Similar experiments show that all shapes other than acute triangles, including right triangles, will also wake up. For the next few minutes, the blob is sleeping in its obtuse triangle form. You can make clean, straight-line cuts between any 2 points on or inside the triangle, but you'll only have time to make 7 cuts while the satellite is above you. By the time it completes its orbit and returns, the blob will have consumed the entire world, if even a single portion that will wake up remains. How can you cut the blob entirely into acute triangles and stop it from destroying the planet?
All right, so there's another example of a riddle. Of course, it sounds very, very complicated, but if you had some help and if you knew the answer, then of course we could figure it out together, right? But these are just 2 examples. There are many, many, many of these on YouTube. So if you want to keep doing these types of riddles, we could do one every 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, Arina?
Let's solve this riddle on the next class.
You want to solve this one on the next class? Okay, okay. Do you guys know geometry? Have you had geometry in math class?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, because this is a geometry problem, geometry. So we have to do a lot of stuff with triangles, right? So this is it will take some thinking, because the problem is that we need to make all of these angles very small or acute. And if they're too big or obtuse, then we won't do it. So we will solve this riddle. Does anybody not want to solve this riddle next week? Okay, so we will solve this riddle next week. Sound good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good, good. All right. And then you have some new vocabulary, right? So you have creature, terrifying, hideous. Here's a question for you. If you remember, we had appearance and personality. This is an adjective, and you could describe a person as hideous. Would it be their appearance or their personality? Which one do you think? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Appearance?
Yeah, it's their appearance. It's who they are on the outside, right? Hideous. You can also be hideous on the inside, but it's not used all that much. So if you say, oh, that person, he's very hideous, it's that they look very ugly, right? How about peculiar? You can describe people as peculiar. He's very peculiar. Is this appearance or personality?
Personality.
Yeah, it's personality, right? He's very strange. He's very peculiar. It's what he is like on the inside. Good. Okay. So you got lots of new vocabulary. We will do the triangle riddle next week. And yeah, does anybody have any questions?
No.
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 Okay. So that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Happy International Women's Day for all of you. I know it was on Monday, on March 8th. So happy holiday, even though I didn't see you. Okay?
Thank you.
Have a good week, everybody. I'll see you next week. Okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.